That's right. For this week's main topic, we once again had another opportunity to get out to an amazing Run Disney event out at the Walt Disney World Resort. This one was funny because originally when we made our plans for 2026 and we were thinking, okay, we're going to do some Run Disney events. And we knew it was going to be a big year for Run Disney for us. We knew we wanted to do Disneyland before they pause those. Hopefully it's just a pause for a little while. And then we wanted to do Princess as well. I wanted to get my half marathons in, wanted to get my coast to coast medal. We were planning on that. We were not ever planning on doing Springtime Surprise.
Right.
But then they dropped this one theme on us, right, Michelle?
Yeah. For the 10K, it was too irresistible to not book it.
Right. So they dropped this Winnie the Pooh theme on us, which if you know us, we're big Winnie the Pooh fans, and you do not get that theme going very often. They love Winnie the Pooh. Obviously, there's Pooh attractions both at Disneyland and at Walt Disney World, but you can meet the characters, of course, but you don't get a lot of theming of events around that, and definitely not Run Disney. So when they dropped that, we're like, well, I guess we're doing this now.
Yes. Like I said, it was irresistible.
So luckily we were able to land our spot, and we're very excited about it. So yes, we headed out. We just did this time after doing some crazy multiple races for weekends. This time we just streamlined it to just the single race. It was actually a fairly quick trip. We were out there only for a little over 24 hours, I think, for the entire thing. So we left on Friday. So the race was Saturday, the 10K Saturday. Left on Friday to go out to the expo to pick up our bibs. Arrived there about maybe 25 minutes, I think, before the expo, the ESPN Wide World of Sports Zone actually opened. And yeah, we got up there and we were pretty close to the front, Michelle.
Yeah, I was surprised because last time we were there, I thought around the same time, and we are a lot further back. The crowds get there pretty early. But this time we were very fortunate to be very much in the front area.
Right. So we waited out there for a few minutes. Great music playing, lots of fun, lots of energy already picking up out there. And then they opened the gates and we head in to get our bibs first thing. But we noticed a lot of people peeling off to the right to go to the merchandise building, right? We were like, wow, there's a lot of people heading there. We figured, okay, maybe it's for the Brooks shoes. They always have the great Brooks shoes that are themed to many of the races and some other Run Disney aspects as well. So they're peeling off there.
Yeah, and they're only available during the race weekend.
Correct. And I'm sure a lot of those people were, but we'll get into what maybe some of those people were doing as well here in a moment. Anyway, we beelined it straight to go get our bibs. And when we went to get our bibs, we noticed, hey, you know what? We're some of the first people here. What might be a better idea is to go ahead and get the character photos there first, because we know those lines. And once people get their bibs, they're going to go get in line for that. So we went there first, and we ended up getting some great pictures with Pooh and Tigger, not all sweaty, beforehand. That was great. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we did the Winnie the Pooh themed race for the 10K. The whole weekend of the springtime was favorite duos.
Right.
And
classic duos.
And so each race had a different duo theme. And this one happened to be for the 10K was Winnie the Pooh and Tigger as a duo.
Right. So the 5K was Nick and Judy from Zootopia. Right. The 10K, like you said, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. For the 10 miler, I believe that was Joy and Sadness, right? And then for the challenge, it was Genie and Aladdin.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was like that. I know those characters, but where the one was flip-flopped on there.
Right. So since we weren't taking part in the challenge or the 10 miler, I was like, okay, what was that one? We may be sorry if we mix those two up. We were more focused on Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, right? But we did also get pictures with Joy and Sadness, which was a lot of fun while we were there as well.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever gotten pictures with these characters, and at least Sadness. And it's
right. I don't think we've ever. We may have with Joy at some point, but I don't think we have with Sadness, and definitely not both of them together.
Yeah, and it was a hoot.
Yeah.
Because you also get a few moments, not a lot, because they do want to keep the line moving, but to interact with the characters, and that's always fun.
Right. So got those pictures, went over, got our bibs. The lines weren't even with that. I mean, it was great because we were able to get, I think we were like third or fourth in line
Yeah.
for both of those pairings of characters. Then we went and got our bibs. Lines weren't long for that. Went over to the expo, got our shirts. Checked out, got a few more things there. We were moving at a fairly brisk pace. We're like, yeah, we're going to get to the merch tent pretty quickly. This is going to be great. Things are going to go well for us, right? Not so much. We got to the merch building and all of the 10K merch already gone. Now, I don't know if it was already gone going into that morning, and a lot of people that were beelining it over there were trying to get any little scraps that were left, or if it was all wiped out the day before. But there was nothing. I mean, They had some Winnie the Pooh things there, but there was no actual 10K merch there available for you. It was pretty disappointing, I'm going to say, Michelle.
Right. They had some things that were still available that really reflected all of the races, but not any of the individual per se. Right.
Even because we all sometimes we get some shirts. But we usually get our run shirts, and that's enough shirt for us for the race itself. But what we always like to get, if we can, is a pin that is focused on that race that we run. We have a collection of pins going back to 2015 when we first started doing these races. And there's very few races where we've missed the pin. This isn't the first time it's happened, but it's very rare. But there was nothing available for it. The only pin that even had all 4 races was a really large pin, and we weren't going to get that one. And we weren't going to get a pin for a race or a challenge that we weren't involved with, just to be around that weekend. So we ended up pretty much shut out.
Right. Yeah. It was certainly disappointing to see that happen. I guess on the bright side, we saved some money, but yeah, it was surprising because I don't think we've ever typically see that for one particular race, it totally wiped out, except maybe like your half marathon. And I think if any of them that we've seen not be as readily available are some of those longer races like that. So it was interesting to see the 10K be included and not what was there. I mean, they did have 5K pins as well there, but yeah. That was fun.
I have a feeling it was just an extremely popular theme. That's the reason why, as I mentioned right off the start, that why we got brought into it is because it was an extremely popular theme that, so people, whether they were in the race, whether they were in the challenge, which of course the challenge was all 3 races, whether you're a part of that, or whether you were just there and wanted to get that gear for yourself or for some other purpose, that they were buying up a lot of that stuff. And it's unfortunate for those of us there because a lot of people who are coming for the 10K, maybe you have to work on Friday. You may not even be showing up till that evening to get your bib. I'd love to see them hold back a little bit more of that merch for those people that are just taking part in the 10K. Now, again, it's rare, especially at Walt Disney World. We've run into this issue at Disneyland a little bit more when the Disneyland races are going on. But not so much at Walt Disney World, but it's not, again, it has happened in the past. And that's partially, yes, okay, if we really wanted that stuff, we should have either pre-ordered it or we should have been there earlier. But I really wish Run Disney would kind of hold back some of that stuff for the people that may be showing up later in the day, specifically for that race. But whatever, we didn't get it. I will put the plea out there, just like I did, and I'm still putting out there for the Disneyland half marathon race, that if anybody has an extra pin, I will happily purchase that from you and pay for shipping. Well, maybe we'll even send you some stickers or some things swag, to go along with it, some swag to go along with it. I'm not going to pay resellers price. I'm not going on eBay and paying that price. It's not that important to me, but I will happily pay for that. And now we're going to put that out there for this springtime surprise 10K, the Winnie the Pooh 10K, that if there's anybody that has, maybe you got both styles of pins and you've decided you like one over the other one, we will happily purchase that from you. Again, we'll pay for shipping, we'll pay for the pin, and we'll send you some swag. But we're not going to pay reseller prices for it because we don't want to propagate that. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, that was that. I think that was the only real disappointment of the weekend,
Yeah.
but it was significant. But hey, we move on.
That's
what can
right.
we do? That's all you
That's
can
right.
do. You move on, you make the best of it. So yes, like Michelle said, the good thing, we didn't spend that money. We didn't spend that money. We could go spend that at the resort on drinks and food and stuff. So that's
We
what
did.
we did next is we went to our resort. We were staying at the Wilderness Lodge, this time at the Copper Creek rooms there. Interesting. It was a little after 1. Our room was already available.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that. We were usually expecting those rooms not to be available before. I think part of that was maybe that it was going through the resort right now is going through a refurbishment. They're doing a lot of painting, doing a lot of work on the exterior. The boat dock is shut down right now. You can't take a boat to Magic Kingdom or to the other resorts around there right now. You have to take a bus. So maybe that plays a part in it.
Yeah.
But that was rare. But we had already made plans. It was a warm day. It's part of the reason why we didn't really actually go to the parks. It was going to be a very warm weekend in the 90s, in the 90s, everybody, in April. So we went and hit up the pool out there. And the pool, we love the Boulder Ridge pool that's there. Michelle got us a great spot. We picked up some lunch and we sat out there for a few hours and just enjoyed some nice pool time.
Yeah. Got in the water a little bit too. And it was a very fun afternoon. We don't usually take a lot of time to be at the pools when we're at the resorts.
More than we used to.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah. But it was fun to be able to get to do that there. And we had a great time.
Yep. Got a cocktail. As I said, we got the food. We got some food from the Roaring Fork, picked that up and brought it over, ate that, dip in the pool, just sitting out, enjoying the ambiance. It was really nice. And there were plenty of other people enjoying that spot as well. It was great. It was great.
You could tell the weather was hot and that there was a lot of people at the pool that you typically, especially this time of year, might not see as many.
Right. So it was really nice. And then it was time. Okay, let's go ahead. We wanted to get the day moving because we knew we needed to attempt anyway, to get to bed at a relatively early hour. Knowing Run Disney, you got to be up to 2:30 in the morning to get ready for that. So we knew our evening was going to need to start early. So we went ahead and went back to our room, got to our room, which was room 4103. And we had never stayed in a room. We've stayed in Copper Creek many times. It's one of our home resorts, but we'd never gotten a room exactly where this is located. And immediately we were very, very taken aback by how amazing our view was. We had a spot. This was on one side. It was looking down into what is arguably the best lobby at Walt Disney World Resorts, the Wilderness Lodge lobby, and then going right in the door, walking out, and having this amazing view looking out through the courtyard outside there, the waterfall, the pool, straight out. And if for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you might be able to see, if you look at this picture, I'm going to zoom in on it, that you can actually see the geyser going off. We were able to watch the geyser going off from our room, plus the lake in the background, all the trees. There was actually a lot of wildlife out there. We spent way more time for a 24-hour, less than 24-hour stay. We spent a lot of time on our balcony just enjoying this amazing view.
Yeah. I mean, I was really surprised to see it was a room that was, like you said, right within the area of the lobby to begin with. It's called the 4th floor, but I think from the lobby, it's just like 2 floors up from there. But anyways, it was a wonderful surprise to get that kind of a view in that room.
Yeah, because I think the lobby technically is on kind of the 2nd floor, because if you go down the wings of the resort towards Bay Lake, it actually goes down a level, I think. So I think that kind of, so technically it's kind of the 3rd floor, but it's really listed as the 4th floor. But anyway, it was great. Really great. We knew right away. We want to spend some time on that balcony. Plus the weather, we were in the shade. So, it was warm, but it wasn't hot. It's perfect. It was perfect for that. And it's going to be, I'm telling you right now, it's perfect for many, many things you're going to want to do if you happen to get that room during your stay at Walt Disney World. Now, for a Run Disney night, there are some things going on there that may have not made it ideal. And we still enjoyed our stay there. But a couple things. The lobby noise. We think of the Wilderness Lodge lobby as soothing, wonderful, amazing, warm, beautiful, calm. Except for that, there's Whispering Canyon over there. And they're not always whispering over in Whispering Canyon Cafe, which we'll talk about a little bit more later as well. At night, And now I cut it off at 10 p.m. So most of the time you're not going to worry about it. But when you're trying to go to bed at around 7, 8 o'clock at night to get, it might get a little loud. The other thing was another thing we love, the electrical water pageant. We love when we hear the electrical water pageant music playing. We know, signals, we got to get outside and watch this because it's one of our favorite things. However, I think because of the fact that we were kind of at the back end of the horseshoe, that is kind of the way that resort is, that it trapped all the sound. And it sounded like it was like on our balcony at night, like it was playing out there, the music of it. And so that kind of woke us up a little bit as well.
Yeah. And it actually, they did. We heard it twice, because the second time I think is where it's either like maybe facing towards Fort Wilderness, but that one we couldn't see. The first one we could, but yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very loud.
Yeah.
And again, most of the time, 99.9% of the time during your Disney trips, these are all perks and fun. This was like, okay, they're not great, but that's okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, we love this room. We would happily.
And then fireworks.
And fireworks too. Yeah, that's right. We also got we couldn't see the fireworks. We could definitely hear the fireworks.
Right.
Again, we love this room. We will happily stay there again. Just maybe not for a Run Disney race. We will try to avoid, if we can, that room. But any other time, man, that room is spectacular.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's perfect.
Yeah. We did go down to the Territory Lounge. That's what we wanted to do, get there, is because the Territory Lounge has always been one of our favorites for so many years. When we went to this, and we wanted to make sure and hit that up, get some great cocktails, try their charcuterie board, which in the past has been super meat forward. Like it had meat hanging from wires and had meat all over it. It was great, along with some cheese, everything. However, they've changed that menu a little bit. The ambiance is still great. The drinks are still very, very good. And the charcuterie board, the new charcuterie board is great, but it's different than it used to be, right, Michelle?
Yes. I think the way you described it was more cheese forward. I think for most people who are looking for a charcuterie board probably would like this one better. It's probably why they changed it, because it does have more cheese selection. And, it's not just your typical, cheddar or American cheese. They have really nice cheeses that they include in that charcuterie board.
It was a great charcuterie board. It just wasn't what we were expecting from the last few times we had visited. But it is, I will still say, it's one of the best charcuterie boards you're going to find on property there. So if you happen to get the chance to go to the Wilderness Lodge, make a stop at the Territory Lounge. I don't think their wine list is great as it used to be, but they do have fantastic cocktails. I know you got a gin and tonic.
Yes.
And I think you'd really like that as well.
Right. I mean, it wasn't your typical gin and tonic. It had the elderflower in there as well, as like a simple syrup. And I think there was also another portion of elderflower in there that really, it was very, I was asking about it, and she says very refreshing, and that's what it was. It wasn't too sweet, it wasn't too soury, it was very refreshing. It had a nice balance to it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a sip of it too, and I thought it was very, very good. I'm not a gin and tonic person per se, but I did think it was very, very good. I got a nice glass of Syrah, and I did enjoy it. It was better. I took a sip of it at first, and I wasn't so sure of it. When the charcuterie came out, it did carry the food really, really well. It paired very, very well. So it ended up being good for me. But I do think they used to have a bit better wine list from what I recall than what I've seen now. But it's still pretty good. And again, their cocktails are nice.
Right. Yeah. The cocktails, they do also have a nice selection if you're into bourbon drinks, a lot of variety in bourbon cocktails as well.
And it is a full bar. So whatever kind of drink you like, they'll probably be able to make up for you there as well. So yeah, overall, we had an enjoyable time there. We were thinking originally we might get more food there, but we kind of pared back because we really wanted to get some more food and enjoy our room at the Roaring Fork. So we picked up some things there, brought back, sat on our balcony, just had a lovely time looking at the view and eating from some great brisket and meat from the Roaring Fork as well.
Exactly. And actually we didn't even finish the charcuterie board. There was so much cheese there, but they'll gladly box it up for you and let you take it on if you're staying on property or something like that.
Right. So we ended up taking a box, taking some of that, and we brought it home, and we actually enjoyed it after we got home from the race weekend. So we could extend it out, which was really, really nice. Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. We kind of did ended that, called it an evening after sitting out, and we had a cup of decaf coffee. We wanted to make sure it wasn't caffeinated. We want to get some sleep. Again, the sounds didn't help that, but that's not, can't complain about the fun everybody's having around. That's for sure. So
yeah, well, we had a nice dessert also.
Oh, that's
that
right.
we
You did pick
split
up a nice dessert,
which we don't always pick up dessert, but they
again
did
from the Roaring
from
Fork.
the Roaring Fork. Yeah, they had, what was it?
It was a mousse. It was a
Yeah.
chocolate and raspberry. It was like a raspberry mousse with
Right.
a chocolate dome that made look like a bear.
Right. Yeah. It had the base was, and I'm using terms because we're watching Great British Bake. No,
Great British Baking Show.
Baking Show. Thank you. It had an almond sponge, so a little light cake as the base, and then it had a dome of raspberry mousse, and then it was covered with chocolate. It had little, pieces on it to make it, like Tom said, make it look like a bear face. But it was beautiful, nice shiny coating.
Nice. Very light.
Mm-hmm.
Nice balance of chocolate and raspberry. If you like that, the flavor combination,
Right.
highly recommend you picking it up.
Yeah, I remember asking the person at the cashier about it, and she said it was actually her favorite of all the desserts that they sell there, and I thought her recommendation was spot on.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
It was good. We enjoyed it. So yeah, I did have a nice night. Again, didn't get a lot of sleep, but we got just enough sleep to get up in the morning and get out to the race day. Now, let's talk about the race course for this, because I think it's this isn't the first time we've run this exact race route. As a matter of fact, we just ran it for Princess, and it's one of our favorite 10K routes because of the fact that it runs about the first 2 miles on the road, just slightly under the first 2 miles outside on the roads outside the park. Right. And from there on out, after those first few miles, for the last 4, you are either in the parks, down on the boardwalk and around, Yacht and Beach Club area, or you're a little bit backstage. But that's the best thing of it, is that, when the miles get the toughest, you are in the best parts of the park. So that's why we love it so much.
Yeah, I think it is one of the best laid out courses to make you have that more energy when you're in the park. And it's also good too, because like at this time of year, it is starting to get a little light, which some, earlier races it may not be. And so your pictures that they're getting of you are more in park area.
Yeah. So it was great. Again, happy with that route. Happy if they keep bringing that route back, because it's very good. The only thing I would say would be better is if they could bring a route back where you're also getting like the studios in, Business Hollywood Studios in, but I don't think they're ever bringing that route back. So this is a really good one, and they should keep that going since we run a lot of 10Ks.
Yeah.
And love that. So yeah, we got there, we got up, got our outfits on, got there this morning, and we meet some of our friends there. Of course, our friend Pat from the Conversations podcast, we actually ended up registering for this race with him, and very, very excited to get to see him. It's been almost a year since we saw him.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been that long, but yeah.
Yeah, and also coming along for the journey was Pat's daughter's boyfriend, Ryan, which was fun. We never met him before, and he was a great addition to the group.
Yeah, brought a lot of fun energy too. He's been a runner, but not in runDisney, so it was fun getting to see his perspective of doing something new like this.
Yeah, so we met up with them, got in line immediately. We got in line for characters, even though we'd already gotten a picture with Pooh and Tigger. We had not gotten in our outfits. And yes, we did. We got a great picture with them in our outfits. It was so much fun to see them and get together. Pat's outfit, by the way, as Pooh kind of stuck in a honey pot. Amazing.
It was.
As always. He always has amazing outfits.
That he makes himself. He's so talented.
So Michelle, of course, obviously is Piglet there, and she makes an adorable Piglet. I was Owl. Michelle made me some great brown wings for it, and a book, The History of Heffalumps and Woozles, that you'll see that I was studying throughout. It was a very interesting book, because obviously I couldn't keep my face out of it throughout the entire race. So we got through it. That was very enjoyable. And by the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see the photo of us all together. That photo, or at least that moment, also made its way onto our local news.
The Orlando news.
Yeah, local enough. We watch it here at home. West 2 News. We were shocked. I was just getting up this morning. I put on the news every day because I just love the weather more than anything else.
Right.
The reason we watch that channel is because we feel they have the best weather reporting. And they're talking about the race. It says here on the picture, it's the 10 miler, but they're mostly recapping what happened before that because the 10 miler was happening while they were reporting. And I'm like, that's us. That's us. What are we doing on West 2 News? It was pretty cool.
It was.
You'll probably never get to see it, but it was great because they also had a moment where when we first come to it, Michelle is hugging Tigger, and then it goes and it shows us getting a picture together.
I know, that was so funny, so random. I mean, I'm sure they take a lot of footage there, and the fact that they clipped us into that story piece was pretty exciting.
It was completely unexpected. And, we've been lucky enough to have been on some Run Disney stuff in the past and so forth, but this was completely unexpected. Did not expect to find us on the morning news.
Right.
Even just it was like 3 seconds, but still it was pretty fun.
Exciting.
Yeah. So anyway, and I love that it was with all of us.
Right.
Made it extra great. And it wasn't just us on the course. It was everybody there.
Right.
That was fun. So yeah, we got into our corral. I was trying to meet with my boss because my boss was doing her first Run Disney race for this as well. Unfortunately, she got a little later start. She had a corral that was after her, so she was able to sleep in a little later, got a little later start. She got there about the time that our corral was moving, so we never got to get together. But hopefully, from what I understand, she had a great race as well. She was there with a whole group of people, and it sounded like she had a lot of fun for her first Run Disney race. I'll have to see if she reports back that she's now addicted like us and will be going regularly.
Yeah, I couldn't see how you wouldn't be.
Right. It happens to most people. We'll see if it happens for her. But we did have a great time in the corral. Up to the start line, it was about 20 minutes after the first racers when we got up there and got out on the course, and great race. Great course. Lots of great stuff going on as we were out there for sure.
Yeah, and you're never sure with the springtime what the weather is going to be like, because even a week ago and next week's weather, much cooler weather.
So funny all around it.
But this was like one of the hottest days of this weekend. Was like the hottest weekend we've had all year. Of course, it is later April, so I guess so. Last year's springtime was much earlier. So you never know. That's, I think, the surprise part of springtime surprise is what the weather's going to be like. But it was certainly bearable. I know for the 10 miler, it was probably a little hotter than what most runners would like, but not unreasonable.
Part of the reason why I feel they do, and I don't know if they've explicitly said this, but the reason why they don't do a half marathon for this race weekend and instead do a 10 miler is because the possibility that we are starting to get into those warmer months. I still don't understand why, because Wine and Dine is, they still do a half for Wine and Dine, and that is definitely going to be warm with Wine and Dine. I mean, it's I know it's pushing into November, and yes, it's starting to cool down a little bit, but it's still pretty warm in November. April is still that same opportunity for it to get very warm. So I feel like they're like, let's just cut 3 miles off of this, and we'll make sure that people aren't overdoing it in what can be a 90-degree weekend. Like we've seen. It's not always the case. Definitely in the 80s. 90s are a little bit rare, but still it can happen, obviously enough. But yeah, got out on the course. Great course, lots of fantastic entertainment. Interestingly enough, like right off the bat, some of the first characters we saw were like Piglet and Rabbit, like right there. Like, I mean, we weren't even a half mile in, and there they are. I'm like, wow, that's early on for a couple key characters to this theme for this race, right, Michelle?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know they weren't the featured duo, but they definitely are a major duo of this of Winnie the Pooh.
Right. Because everybody is in, well, not everybody, but majority of people are in some sort of cosplay race outfit that relates to Winnie the Pooh, whether you're Pooh, whether you're Tigger, lots of Poohs, lots of Tiggers, lots of Piglets.
I think you were the only owl.
That's what we were told. Like I was the only owl that was.
Yeah. When we were getting the water, even one of the people, cast or volunteers handing out water, said, "Oh, you're one of the only owls."
I can't believe I was the only one, but we did not see a lot. Lots of Eeyores. I know that there may have been some Kangas and some Roos out there as well, and I did see some Heffalumps and Woozles, not just in my book. There were some out there as well, but yeah. Anyway, a lot of fun being had. Also, we saw Alice and the Mad Hatter out there on the course not long after that. interesting. This is one I debated stopping at because this is something. I mean, you can get pictures with Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow, often, but you don't often get pictures with Captain Jack Sparrow and Captain Barbossa.
I know.
The same spot. I was tempted. We don't stop with characters very often. It's got to be the line's got to be short,
right?
But thought about that one.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it was kind of early on too, so we were like, should we? Because the line wasn't terrible, but it was long, and we chose to keep going.
Yeah. Also, there were plenty of entertainment along the course, as you would expect. Saw plenty of bands out there. Excuse me. Lots of bands when we were out there as well. This was a great band that was kind of out on the road. That they're playing some amazing music as well.
Yeah, like some blues. Right?
Yeah, it was really great. When we got in, we got some mariachi band in the Mexico Pavilion. Mariachi band on our way, and then Miguel. If you never had a picture with Miguel, your chance to see Miguel was not long after that. We did also see a drum band that was in the Japan Pavilion, like not just the regular drum, like it was an extended drum band all around the kind of the pagoda area there. And then probably the most popular character that was outside of the Winnie the Pooh characters were there was Kimono Minnie, Asian Minnie in her kimono. I mean, that line went all the way down deep into the Japan Pavilion and around, and incredible. What an incredible character opportunity for that. If you had the chance to wait in line for that one.
Right. And we've run several of the races. I've never seen that at the Japan Pavilion, whether that character, but also that band. It was an awesome view and awesome to hear all those drums and everything. And it really made it special. It was like you had to pause and really appreciate what what they were going through.
Japan regularly has some people out there rooting people on, and they're always fun. But this was the first time I've seen them go this far out, and I think it has to do with Kimono Minnie being there, that they're like, we got to really put our game up for this one.
She put contacts out saying, I'm not going to be there without a show.
It was incredible. That was probably the biggest moment, I think, that of interest to me outside, the regular parts of the race.
Right.
Really, really cool. Other characters we saw, and I'm going to miss some because I always forget some of the characters since we don't get a lot of pictures of characters. But some of the more interesting ones, we did see Genie out there, which isn't surprising, part of the theme of the race. But Abu was with him, when do you see Abu? When you get a picture with Abu? That is pretty interesting as well. That was out kind of on the boardwalk area. We saw backstage, we saw from up, we saw Carl and Russell together, and Doug was out there separate as well. Over by Communicore Hall, Mirabelle and Isabella were out there taking, you could get a selfie with them. There wasn't a PhotoPass photographer with them, but you can get a selfie with them. Eeyore was out there. Yes, we're going to continue with Winnie the Pooh. Of course, you got to get Eeyore out there as well. Is there any other characters that you can think of that I missed? I'm sure there's some others.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know there were others, but nothing else is coming to mind. I think those were hitting the big ones that we really took notice of. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was great. We got out there in the course, and it was just a lot of fun, and you'll be able to see our pictures here that, it was enjoyable to be able to dress the way we did. Carrying a book for the entire race.
Yeah, that was impressive.
And reading it for the entire race. Apparently, I was reading it the whole race, just so you know.
Not just when the pictures were being
No, that doesn't happen. If you see me in a picture, that's why I'm doing the entire race.
Yeah.
And wearing I never worn my glasses because I don't need to wear glasses to see. I need wear my glasses to read anything close to me. Wearing for the entire race was something else as well.
I bet. So, I mean, they really, I thought they did great again with where the photos were being taken. One of our favorites always is in front of Spaceship Earth, where, that line, even though it's long, it really is quick moving. They have the spot where you're supposed to stand, and you get like one pose and done, know, but it's a great opportunity to have that right at Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. Unless you're battling the balloon people, or right there at the end, and you're really concerned with your timing, highly recommend you get that photo, because how often are you going to get that photo in whatever your great run outfit is?
Right.
A full-fledged Spaceship Earth there. And it does move quickly. The line may seem long, but everybody's smart enough to know. And that's true of all the character photos as well.
Right. But
The
this one
lines
more
seem
so.
long, but they move pretty quickly because everybody gets up there and they know, okay, got to get this picture, got to go, because one, I need to get back on the course, but also there's all these people behind me that want to get back on the course.
Right.
As
Yeah.
well.
These are not the times where you get to have really an interaction with the characters. It's, really high pose gone.
It's very rare that you see people that like, okay, we need to take each an individual picture, then we need to get together with a group picture,
Right.
then maybe a separate subset group picture. The people are usually smart enough to do that, know the etiquette, like just get up there, get your whole group up, or
Right.
if you're just going to do it yourself, just you and go. That's usually the case. Everybody who doesn't do that, mind your etiquette.
Right.
We got to get these lines moving because
Maybe they're newbies.
it is still a race and we still want to get there, and we want to get pictures with as many spots as you can and not be worried about someone coming to sweep you at the end.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
And usually 99% of the time that's the case. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Right.
And they do a great job with that.
Yeah.
And that's the case here. So it was great. One thing that was fun at the end, they always have the choir at the end of the race, right? And yes, we did have the choir out there. They were singing "We're All in This Together" and doing the "We're All in This Together" dance as well from High School Musical, which was a lot of fun. So that was really cute to see, as when we were out there.
Yeah, when you see that choir, you're almost done.
There.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
that
brings
last
so much energy.
right. I was going to say that last bit of energy boost to make it past the finish line.
Yeah, it's always the best. Love the choir so much.
Mhm.
But anyway, yes, we did get finish line photos this time. They did capture us. And I still had not finished my book at that point. It's a long history of heffalumps and woozles. I mean, it just really is, but yeah, it was nice to be able to distract Michelle and regale her with a story as we were going
That's
through
right.
the entire book, the entire race.
So in character.
But it was a lot of fun. We just had a great time out there for the race weekend, and yeah, great race. The theming was perfect. The character meet and greets great. The energy always fantastic for a Run Disney race.
Yeah, I mean, even though you have to wait in your corrals for quite a long time in the morning, 4 a.m. or whatever, like you said,
middle of the night.
Yes, the energy is really very positive, very fun. I mean, they do have, announcers who are there and entertaining the crowd and things like that. But you can just feel it around you that everybody is really excited and happy to be there.
Yeah, so great. And yep, we did get there and get our medals at the end. And these are great medals, by the way, better than I expected. I thought they looked great when we saw them online. And then we actually got them, and they're even better than we thought. Go ahead, Michelle's got them here for those of you on YouTube.
So I'm going to try to. So what's really cool is that Tigger bounces, bouncing. And here is the honey pot, and I don't know if you can really see it there, but the honey.
See if you can turn it again.
The honey is actually flowing.
Yeah, I don't know if it comes across on YouTube or whatever, but yes, it moves. The honey is the golden honey it will flow throughout. We didn't notice that at first. Pat, our friend Pat, when we saw him at the finish line area, he pointed out to us that that's the case. I was like, wow, the medals are getting better and better. I mean, the prices are going up and up on the Run Disney races, but I have to say the medals are getting better and better and better every time. We're more and more impressed with how great these medals are.
I mean, I know Run Disney's been going on for quite a long time, and I don't remember what I was looking at through things this past week, but I did see a picture of like one of the early medals, and they were nice, but they were just like a simple medal, a little smaller than the ones that we have now, but definitely just sort of, I don't want to call it plain because it wasn't, but it was very simple in its appearance. And I'm sure it was more representative of what a lot of community runs are. But they definitely have continued to improve and up their game on it. They usually is like some moving parts to it now, or something that makes it special, or 3D or something, maybe even on both sides. They really do a lot to make it
I think
nice.
Because our first Run Disney race was late in 2015, I believe that's what it was. And those medals are great. We love those medals very much, but they are going all out with them now. They keep getting better. They keep finding new, interesting ways to make them, like Michelle is mentioning, creative and fun, and to go along with the theming of them. I'm very excited. I wish I really wish they would bring back some Star Wars races.
I
really like to
know.
see what they would do with those. I mean, because how excited we were to get that Millennium Falcon medal for running the virtual Star Wars half and then the actual dark side half to get that. And that's just cool just as it is. But what would they do now for something like that? It's got to be pretty incredible.
Well, maybe that's going to be another virtual that comes up down the.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's hope. But
this
that
year's
was
virtual is exciting.
Yeah, which we've already signed up for because, we got to spend more money with runDisney. But those medals are very excited for as well. And I don't know if they're still, I think they might be sold out already.
Yeah, I think they're sold out.
Yeah. But keep an eye open. Sometimes they open back up.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, lots of fun. So great day, great race. We went to try and get pictures, the post-race pictures. And once again, especially because we took our time, we weren't at the end. There were still plenty of people finishing after we got there. But plenty of people had finished. Lots of people had finished before us by the time we got there. I love the way they used to do the post-race photos where you could pick and choose your individual line. And while I don't know that the line now goes much more slowly than that, the fact that you can pick a shorter line or whatever and get up there and get your photo felt like it moved faster than one long line that they said, okay, you go to this station and then you go to this station.
Yes, they have all the stations like in a row, and then they just send you to one, but you're all starting from the same line.
So we started to get in that line, and we realized, hey, we have a brunch reservation that we need to get to. We need to get over to our car, get home, or back to our resort, shower and get ready for this. And as a matter of fact, we needed to check out too, because it was going to run into our checkout time since we were leaving that day. So unfortunately, we didn't get to get that race, but we did get that medal pick that you saw for those of you on YouTube as well. So at least we got our medal selfie.
Exactly. And they did at the resort also have opportunities for the runners to get pictures. They also had before going out there, they had coffee set up and everything. In fact, I grabbed a cup to.
The resorts are upping their game for runners during these weekends, giving you opportunities to get coffee. And they've been doing some of this to begin with, but I feel like over the last several visits that they've been doing much better, getting even more before you leave. And then when you come back, there's the bananas there. There's cuties there.
Yeah, they had bananas.
They had bananas. And then some of the cast members there will take photos of you as well when you come back. And I like that. I just like the little extra added thing for happiness that you're staying with them and running these races.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet. Appreciated.
Very good. But we showered and got ready because we needed to get to our breakfast. And we already mentioned a little bit of the Whispering Canyon Cafe. And yes, we got together to go, since it was right there in our resort to do there. We invited everybody back. Pat's daughter, Emily, did join us for that one, along with Ryan, her boyfriend, and Pat. We all got together and we had a wonderful, wonderful brunch. Closer to a breakfast, but a brunch out of Whispering Canyon, which we've been by there many times. We've heard the fun that happens there, looked at the menu, thought about it many times, but we've not actually had our opportunity to eat at Whispering Canyon before, Michelle.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they really do have a nice variety in the sense that they have, you can either get one of their skillets. It's all you can eat. So
all you care to enjoy,
but you can just reorder all or some parts of that as you wish, or they also had entrees that you could just order separately as well. So it gave you that nice blend of variety of whatever you wanted to do for that.
Yeah, I don't think any one of us went for the skillets this time. We went for individual entrees. I got the brisket omelet. I think Ryan got a big old waffle. Which was good. And then you, Pat, and Emily all got kind of an eggs Benedict. It was a salmon. It was a country Benedict with salmon.
Yeah, I think they called it. It might have been the Whispering Canyon. But yeah, so it was on their biscuit. Their so it was split open, and then they had smoked salmon on it. The eggs, and then the what do you call it over? Hollandaise, yes.
It was kind of like a barbecue, like essenced hollandaise, right?
Yeah, very light though. Very light.
So mostly tasted like a hollandaise too.
Right.
I didn't try any of yours, so I don't know what
for me, my taste, I predominantly tasted hollandaise, but it was very good.
So what did you think of your breakfast?
Yeah, I thought it was good. And, obviously the ambiance is a lot of fun. I was glad that we were there as a group. I think that is a more enjoyable way to experience that restaurant. I don't know, maybe dinner is different, not different that because I'm sure they have the same kind of shenanigans going on and everything, but the menu is different. They
Mhm.
also same for the evening for dinner. They have a variety of skillets that you could try, and the skillets include I don't know that they have a plant-based skillet. I
They
don't,
have to. I'd be
but
surprised if they didn't.
they definitely have a vegetarian option skillet as well as meat skillets and
Lots of meat skillets.
yeah. And then they also have other entree options too.
Right. And the skillets there, you could have had more of a breakfast type skillet. You could have had a lighter skillet, which,
Mhm.
had some lighter options on it. And there was a
Like with
very meat, almost
cereal.
like a more of a lunch. This is brunch, more of a lunch based meat with brisket and some other meats as well on there. Um, I went, like I said, for the brisket omelet. It was okay. It
Mhm.
was okay. I felt like the omelet needed a little something, maybe a little barbecue sauce or something to bring out the brisket a little bit more.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was okay. I was a little disappointed with the potatoes.
Mhm.
They were a little undercooked, I felt. I mean, not badly
Right.
undercooked, like they weren't edible. They could have used about 2 or 3 more minutes roasting or maybe boiling before they roasted them, just to kind of give them a slightly softer texture, crispy on the outside, more soft on the inside. They were a little more crunchy than I'd like
Mhm.
throughout,
Mhm.
I
Right.
thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice flavors, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, one thing, apparently it wasn't enough flavor for Michelle because she did have to order ketchup.
This is a spoiler.
Yes, this is a bit of a spoiler. So if you want to skip by this, if you're going there, first of all, I'll say order ketchup when you're there, whether you need it or not. But okay, jump ahead if you don't want to hear what happened. Michelle,
30
you
seconds.
ordered ketchup while you were there.
Well, let me first give a little background. Before your plates are brought out, they bring a little tray that has different. Um, why am I not thinking of what
Condiments, but I
condiments?
think that
Thank
was
you.
mostly for Ryan's waffle. And there was a
Um,
bunch of syrups and butter and
yeah, although I thought I saw like a salsa in there as
mm,
well. But yeah, they had different things, and I was just assuming some ketchup was there. And then when our plates came, and I like ketchups with my potatoes, not a lot, but some. And so I looked over and I just happened to ask. Actually, I happened to ask Ryan, "Is there any ketchup there?" And the server heard me and said, "You want ketchup?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he says, "Well, all right, everybody at the table, you need to shout out, 'We need ketchup,'" which we did in unison. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, wait, I think I've heard something about this before." And sure enough, ketchup from every table that had ketchup came over to our table. It was servers bringing it, it was other restaurant patrons there bringing it over. It was
it's
hilarious.
part of the thing. The ketchup makes its way around the restaurant as people order ketchup. So yeah, we ended up with, I want to say it was like 16, 17 bottles of ketchup on our table. Where you can see it, for those of you watching on YouTube in the picture there, believe me, that is just a small
Right.
portion of how many bottles of ketchup made it to our table. We built a full wall around Michelle of ketchup. And then later somebody else needed ketchup and we all got up and brought the ketchup to somebody else's
Right.
table, and that would continue out throughout breakfast. And that was fun.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Yes.
Really, really fun. Really, really enjoyed that.
And you had something occur to you as well, right?
Yeah, I ended up in restaurant jail. Apparently, because I didn't pay the check at the appropriate time, I ended up having to be locked away. Yeah, that's a part of it as well.
Yeah.
That's some of the fun as well.
And the kids will love it because like the person who put you in jail was a kid and
Mhm.
who had to wear this giant oversized cowboy hat and put you in jail. And they also had horse races, predominantly children, but not
Not
exclusively.
exclusive. There are plenty of adults taking part in the toy pony
Right.
race around the restaurant for sure, which was
Yeah.
fun, along with napkin waving as we were cheering them on around the race around the restaurant.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like the energy I think that you see at Hoop De Doo musical review at times, but you don't have like entertainers there. It's the restaurant people that are making it fun. If your kids really if your kids get bored during restaurant visits, usually this is a great place. If you want to just go and have a laugh at some of the like I said, shenanigans that happen, it's a really cute place to go to.
Right. And this happened to the people that were next to us. This must be a bit of a spoiler as well. The person next to us ordered a second glass of Coke. The second glass of Coke was about a 2-liter bottle of Coke. It was in a giant mason jar. So I'm like, wow, did they do that with the cocktails?
I know, right?
They order a cocktail and then order a second one.
Yeah.
Do that. But yeah, that was pretty fun as well. I'm sure there are other shenanigans that we didn't even get to experience that go on there. It was a lot of fun. The food to me was okay. I think that maybe I could have made some better choices and it might have been better. But the food was okay. But the ambiance was well worth it. We will totally go back with a group. I agree with you. I feel like going together as a couple, fine, but going together with, some larger family or larger group of friends,
right?
Really, you could have a really fun and enjoyable time.
Yeah, I think it just ups the enjoyment. Not that you can't enjoy it as a couple.
Sure, but absolutely, you definitely could.
There were a lot of, couples or adults alone there that were having a great time. But yeah, I just think either being with kids there or being with a group makes it even more enjoyable.
And there were lots of people that had either come straight from the race, that you could see that they were still in their race outfits, or you could tell they had just gotten back showered and got to there. Because, there aren't a ton of places to get a good brunch at Walt Disney World as much as you think there were. And especially a fun place like this. This was great. It's a great place if you want to try and reserve your after race brunch, because you want to get that protein, get that food up. You reward yourself for running all those miles, whether it be the 5K, whether it be the 10K, the half, the 10 miler, all of them. This is a great place to kind of have that. I really feel like this would be something that I would be happy to do again after another race weekend for sure, especially with a lot of friends.
Yeah. And considering how many times we go out there and that's one of our favorite resorts, it was interesting. It was a place that we had never experienced before. So now we have.
Anything else from the race weekend that you can think of that we need to cover that we haven't yet?
No, I think we really explored all of it.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was just so great. One, it's Run Disney, the energy, the fun, the theming, everything about it, always spectacular. But then getting the chance to get back together with friends and see them and have good time talking with them in the corral, meeting them afterwards, and having a nice brunch at a wonderful restaurant, a really fun restaurant like Whispering Canyon. It was just magical all the way throughout. Again, Run Disney, you're undefeated. Every mile is magic. And
that's
that goes
right.
From the beginning all the way to the end. It's spectacular. Right,
yeah,
Michelle?
Couldn't say it any better, honey.
Yeah. So that is Miles, Meals, and Magic, our Run Disney Springtime Surprise 10K recap.